All right. Hey, Mary. Thanks
Hi.
for joining us on 502 Entrepreneurs today.
Yeah.
Super glad to have you here and hope that you're doing well and making it through all the things that are happening in the world currently. All right. And,
Yeah.
especially COVID-19 and staying healthy. And
Yeah.
so,
We're trying.
yeah, like everybody else, I think.
Yeah. Doing our best.
Um, So kind of on lockdown still, but getting back out there a little bit more now. I know
Mhm.
my photo studios opened back up, and
That's
so
good.
that's good, and kind of starting to move along a little bit better. So
Yeah.
why don't you go ahead and tell everybody who's listening to kind of who you are, and then what your company is, and kind of what you guys do.
Okay. So I am Mary Boggess. I own Evolve Medicinals. It's a company I started myself. We had just actually launched a few months ago, back in April. So that's been exciting. We are currently just online only, so we don't have a retail store at the moment. Everything is purchased online. We communicate, with everybody online. And basically, we sell water soluble CBD products. So something a little different to hit the market as far as CBD goes. We're based here in Louisville. Our products are pretty much derived in Kentucky, with the exception of manufacturing, but everything's sourced locally here in Kentucky and in Louisville. So that's exciting. We wanted to keep everything close to home and support local people and farmers and everybody. So we've been really excited to do that.
Yeah, that sounds great. So for uh, people like me who are pretty uneducated when it comes to CBD and CBD products, can you kind of explain what CBD stands for and kind of a little bit of the process to take, the plant and turn it into a CBD product?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so CBD, for those that don't know, stands for cannabidiol. It's part of the cannabis plant. So there's cannabis plant or hemp. The hemp we use is where it comes from. So basically, cannabis consists of CBD, THC, and some other cannabinoids in there. Our products are extracted of THC. So they don't have any THC in them. They don't exhibit any high like cannabis can. So basically, hemp is grown. Our hemp is grown naturally in the field, not in a greenhouse. It's sun grown in Kentucky. They grow the hemp, they extract it. Our extraction method that they use is CO2 extraction, so there's not any solvents or chemicals or anything like that involved. It's strictly done via CO2. And then with our specific CBD, there's a couple extra little steps involved to make it water soluble. So basically, it mixes with water, essentially. The cannabis plant and hemp is naturally oil soluble, so it's a fatty compound. And we wanted ours to absorb in water, just because it's better in the body that way.
Okay, yeah, that's gonna be my next question.
Yeah.
What's the benefit of having it water soluble?
Yeah. So our bodies, I mean, as we know, are majority water, about 80% water. And so when you introduce a compound in your body that is soluble in fat, yes, we have fat, but majority of our organs and our cells and tissues and everything are not made of fat. They're made of water. So with the water soluble CBD, it actually absorbs a lot better throughout the body, a lot quicker and a lot more readily available. So you don't end up wasting a lot of it, as with a lot of products you do. So basically it absorbs quicker, it absorbs more, works better in my opinion.
Can you take a smaller dose because it absorbs better
Yeah.
than an oil-based?
Yeah. So our products are estimated to be about 8 times the potency of the same dose in a typical oil soluble CBD.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So if
So
someone's used to using something else and they come to you, and then you take the same dose, they're going to be
yeah, and I mean
8 times more of the product in them.
Right. Our strengths, when you first look at it and you don't know that fact, our strengths look on the smaller, like on the weaker side compared to some products out there. Because typical CBD products, you can get up in the 1,000 milligrams, 6,000, 10,000 milligrams. But we really like to inform people that it's going to be equivalent to about 8 times what it looks like. So yeah, it's a lot stronger than you would think by just looking at the strength on the bottle.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Very cool. So what piqued your interest in CBD and made you get started in this industry?
So I kind of a background on me. I'm a pharmacist here in town in Louisville, and I work in a retail pharmacy. I've worked in pharmacy basically my whole adult life. I went to pharmacy school here in town. And so I've worked with a lot of patients, all kinds, patients who take a few prescription medicines, take a lot. I've seen patients that take 20 or more medicines a day. And I've just always kind of had a strong interest in bettering people. So yes, helping people, but more so the aspect of improving people, improving their lives, as of course they want to, and just seeing kind of outcomes and results from that. So with my patients at work, I obviously see a lot of people that could benefit from something all natural, kind of to add to their daily regimen, as far as pain goes, or insomnia, anxiety, anything like that. CBD has a lot of benefits. And I just would see a lot of my patients every day, who just always kind of wanted recommendations for something more, as far as in those aspects. They already, let's say they take pain medicine for pain. They want something to add on. The over-the-counter options just, are limited and also not really that great for you to take a lot of.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, and a lot of patients can't take the over-the-counter pain medicines due to other health issues. So I just kind of, started doing a lot of research into CBD, reading a lot of trials and articles and publications, all of that. And I just really, I know how beneficial it is. I just really thought that I could come out with some products that people could really utilize and benefit from, and that wouldn't be harmful to them, basically.
Very cool. I'm looking at your website here, and it looks like you have 4 or 5 different products available.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are they all the same thing, just in different delivery methods? Is that kind of, or are there multiple different products themselves?
Yeah. So right now we have oral solutions, similar to like the tincture that people recognize usually. But technically a tincture has usually alcohol in it for dissolution, and ours doesn't have any alcohol in it. So I didn't want to call it a tincture. So I called it oral solution is what it is. That you take by mouth, goes under the tongue. Usually it absorbs a lot better that way. And then we've got 2 flavors of that. So we have lemon and cinnamon, all natural flavors. That was another big thing for me. I didn't want to come out with products that had a bunch of junk in them, because that's not really how I buy things. That's not what I like. So yeah. It was really important to me to come out with things that had all natural ingredients, even though we kind of hit some roadblocks here and there just because it can make manufacturing a little more difficult, not using synthetic emulsifiers and stuff like that. So anyway, we do have the oral solutions. We have a topical cooling gel with CBD in it. So that's going to be similar to like a Tiger Balm or like a Bengay or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I love that stuff. I use it all the time. My lower back. We have a ton of people that use it all the time. And it's really cool because it's called a gel, but it's kind of a gel / cream hybrid, I guess, as far as the physical properties of it. So it's white like a cream, but it really absorbs into the skin really well. so it doesn't leave like a greasy film behind, like a lot of creams will, or
Yeah.
like stuff like that. So you rub it on to your like the painful area, and it completely absorbs. You can't even hardly feel it after a few minutes on your skin. It starts working. It helps with like inflammation, pain, stuff like that. It's cool because you can just, take it with you, apply it throughout the day if you have like a knee that bothers you or lower back or something like that.
Right.
And then we have capsules as well for people who don't want to do like a liquid option. Just one simple once a day capsule. So that's what we've got right now.
Okay, cool. So when you decided you wanted to do this, you're like, hey, I'm going to get this thing going.
Yeah.
How long did it take you from this is my idea, I'm going to do this, to I'm launching my website, I'm ready to go?
It was a little over a year, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, I started looking into things and just kind of developing ideas and looking for resources and stuff like that. I would say January or so of 2019. And then we just launched in April of this year. So
Okay.
a little over a year.
Little over a year.
Yeah.
That's not too bad considering you have to source the products and find manufacturing and get all that, bottling and labeling and everything squared away. And to do that in, 12, 15 months, that seems like that's pretty quick.
Yeah. It felt like a long time because I'm a pretty person. I like things that like happen overnight. And I wish I could have done it all in like a week.
Right.
But yeah, it was nice to have the time to, work through problems and, whatever came up with manufacturing, stuff like that. And kind of, we went through a few prototypes on each of the products, just sending them back and forth and me approving them or not, and, different stuff like that. So
right. But I imagine too, the farmers are harvesting like once a year, so you have to. You're really on a 1 year cycle anyway,
right.
For this particular business. So,
right. Yeah,
unless you would have hit it just perfect,
right? Independent.
Yeah. So that's very cool. Yeah. So very neat. So how do your products differ or stand out from your competitors?
So like I mentioned, the water solubility, definitely. When I started developing my products, I knew that I wanted to do something different. I'm all about standing out with things. I don't like to just kind of blend in with everyone and create something that everyone else has. So I wanted something that offered a new benefit, a positive thing that people could benefit from that wasn't already on the market. So that's why I found the CBD, the water soluble. And then I also, so that definitely is different. There's not a whole lot of water soluble companies out there. There's a few, but for right now, it's definitely going to be up and coming because a lot of people are starting to do research into water soluble CBD and its benefits over typical. So I think we'll see a lot more of it in the future, but I wanted to be one of the first to introduce it.
Cool.
And then also, so that makes us stand out. Also getting our CBD locally, like I said, is a huge plus to me because I definitely love supporting, local companies and businesses. So that effect. And then also I think personally it's unique that I developed them with a pharmaceutical degree. So I kind of have a little more insight into what works in the body a little bit better, or maybe more
right.
your typical, typical person. So I think that has helped me a lot too in the development.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I agree. With that background, a lot of people don't have that background as they're going into businesses like this, and they're kind of more concerned about the money and the bottom line than they are about helping people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I already kind of have the way of conversing with people as far as like a patient standpoint. I'm used to accommodating my patients as far as questions or side effects, drug interactions, stuff like that. And I also just genuinely have an interest in it. So that's really kind of been a fun aspect for me with this. It's not just like a dry, let's get these products out. I don't really care, you know?
Yeah.
I really thoroughly enjoy like helping people and answering their questions and all of that. So
yeah, that's great. So what's been your favorite part about starting this business and kind of going through the process and getting to the point where you launched a couple of months ago?
I would say just the development part. I think it's really cool that there's really no boundaries. Being the owner, I pretty much have all the room I could imagine for creativity and development versus, working for someone or whatever, just being a product developer for a company. You're kind of limited on what you can do according to their guidelines and stuff like that. So that's been really, really fun just to, the possibilities are kind of endless. And then as far as post-launch, I have 100% loved hearing all the benefit people are getting from my products. That's like why I did all of this.
Right. You can see your vision coming true.
Yeah. It makes, like my whole day when I hear somebody who said, oh man, I've been able to cut back on my pain medicine with your products. I am able to get around better. My feet don't hurt when I get up in the mornings. Like it's just amazing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So, switching gears a little bit, what's been your marketing strategy kind of, being that you're all online and you don't have a brick and mortar location in town?
Mm-hmm.
What's been your approach to getting the new company's name out there and, tapping into this growing market of different CBD companies?
So that's kind of actually one of the more challenging parts, I would say, with any business really, but especially when you first start. But with CBD specifically, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but you can't really advertise CBD anywhere. I know people probably see CBD advertisements on things, but those people kind of get them squeezed through somehow. But Facebook, Instagram, Google, you can't advertise CBD anywhere just because of its legal standpoint federally.
Right.
There's all kinds of gray area with all of that still. It is legal, but federally it's not yet. So all these companies do not allow advertising. So that's been definitely a roadblock as far as marketing, getting my name out there. Basically, I've just been organically reaching out to people, people that I know that would benefit from it. I've done a few giveaways. We still communicate and, post on social media, Instagram, Facebook, all of that. I try to educate, allow some education on my social posts for people who don't know a lot about CBD, just in general, because a lot of people, might have heard of it, but don't really know. They don't really know where to go to ask. It's overwhelming on the internet if you look anything up about CBD.
Yeah, it is.
Slaps you in the face. So basically, I've just kind of been talking to people. Word of mouth. People in my hometown a lot have really been interested, and I've reached out to some local CBD shops that carry, several different types of products, a few different stores in town. So just basically me. I have worked with a marketing company on a few things, but there's only so much you can do with all the limitations online.
When you can't advertise online, that makes it a challenge.
Yeah, so I've just basically been making myself present and available and working with it.
Have you been happy with the amount of volume you're getting and product you're moving now, even though you have these limitations?
Yeah, it's been, surprisingly great. We launched in the middle of the COVID situation. So that was kind of a huge challenge. But I'm never opposed to a challenge. So, we've made it work and it's been good. So
Well, that's awesome. That's
yeah.
good to hear.
Yeah.
So,
People need some stress relief while they're sitting at home with all their kids. I know how that is.
I don't have any kids yet, so I'm not sure how that works, but I imagine it's a challenge.
Yeah.
When our niece comes over to visit, it's a challenge in itself. So she's
Yeah.
3, and so, but
Yes.
yeah, very cool. What's been the most surprising thing for you, as a business owner? What have you come across that you weren't expecting as you got into it?
I would say just how many roadblocks you hit, honestly, and have to make it through. I knew starting a business would be hard, obviously, but I guess I just didn't realize how many things you run into that you have to figure out how to get through. Number one, like I mentioned, being the coronavirus. It was kind of like, wait till X amount of time when it may or may not ever end to launch, or just go ahead and do it. So, I took a leap and did that. But we've also had to kind of change a little bit of our outreach strategies because a lot of companies have not been in their offices. A lot of people, are at home, maybe not spending much money due to shortage of work or whatever. So we've just really been wanted to be available to people to just chat with and answer questions and stuff like that if they had any. So I would say first and foremost, probably just the amount of, kind of roadblocks you hit. But it wasn't anything, bad. And I mean, obviously we'll hit a lot more along the way, I'm sure, but grow and learn and
yep. Roadblocks are inevitable. So
yeah.
and just got to work through them and do what you can there. So
for sure.
Yeah, very cool. So, what's you've been in Louisville for a while. I went to school here, obviously, and stuff like that. I like to talk to people about the city of Louisville itself too, not only their business, but what's one of your go-to spots in town? Is it still open because of COVID, or is it opening back up, or
like for food or
whatever?
That's pretty much all I
do. Restaurants.
So I am a restaurant fanatic. I have a running restaurant list in my phone of Louisville restaurants that I have actually sent out to several people. It's kind of a hot commodity.
Okay, yeah.
But we love to go eat. We like beer. Love the breweries. Third Turn Brewery in Crestwood is just kind of a magical place.
Yeah.
We love it there. Where else? Let's see. Mainly they're just all restaurants.
Okay. You got a favorite?
Oh my gosh. Hammerheads is one of our top go-tos. We love martinis. We love DeFabio's on Frankfurt Avenue. What else? Doc Crow's.
Yep.
Man. We haven't gone out in a long time.
I know, that's the hard part. It's like you can't go anymore.
Trying to think of our top ones that we always crave. I love Oishi.
I've never been there.
Oishi, man, good.
So, oh, very cool.
Yeah, could talk all day about restaurants.
That's going to be your next endeavor, a restaurant blog.
Yes.
So, well, very cool. Is there anything about the product or the business that you want to touch on that I haven't, or that you haven't?
Not really, I guess.
Who would be your target customer? Like who's going to benefit the most from using your products?
So I would say, CBD, I know a lot of people have tried CBD. A lot of people have not had any results with CBD. Of course, there's many factors that can go into that. Maybe the product they bought didn't claim to, maybe they claimed a strength or a product that they didn't actually include, which is another thing that is really important to me is third-party testing. So all of our products are tested in-house by our manufacturer, and then they also send them off to a third-party lab, so an outside lab that has no bias, of course. They test everything to make sure that it has in it what we're claiming, that it has in it nothing additional that we're not claiming. The strengths are what we're claiming. All of that has to be approved before the products are launched and to release. So that's another plus. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So a lot of people I've heard have said, I've tried CBD, it didn't work for me, which is fine. Everybody's different. Let's say you're wanting CBD for pain. You have chronic pain. Well, CBD is good for pain, but it depends on what's causing your pain. So if you have a knee that needs replaced, very severely, in pain every day, just debilitating, you need surgery, CBD is not going to be your cure-all. It's just not, nothing is.
Right.
You need to get your knee replaced, and so I think it's important for people, if you've tried it before, to maybe not write it off. It could have been the dose that you took wasn't good, wasn't enough for you, or it could have been, there's any factors, that can go into something not working for someone. So I would say, it's always good to give things another shot, maybe with, a different company, a different strength, a different product type. So let's say you tried a capsule before, with somebody or with us even, and it didn't really give you the results you wanted. It might be good to try like the oral solutions because they go under your tongue and absorb differently than the capsule going down and going through your liver and all that. So yeah, definitely just to kind of keep, an open mind. And if, it still doesn't work for you after trying a few different types and brands and stuff, then, there's nothing wrong with you or with that kind of, how things go.
Right.
A lot of prescription medicines only work for certain people. So
exactly.
One of those things.
So people with pain can benefit, people with anxiety, you said earlier. Mm-hmm. Who else benefits, or what other?
So it's really good for insomnia. I personally use it every night before I go to sleep. So it's really good for that. Anxiety. There's a lot of clinical evidence with CBD products as far as like seizures, so epilepsy, things like that. But being a healthcare professional, I'm not going to tell you, hey, if you have a seizure disorder, stop your seizure meds and start my product.
Yeah, no, you can't say that.
I'm not, yeah. Definitely always be cautious about things like that. But yeah, I would say the main ones that people have really found a lot of benefit from is pain, inflammation, swelling, all of that, arthritis, sleeping, anxiety, stress. It helps to kind of mellow you out. Just kind of, I don't know. It doesn't make you, like, when you have anxiety, a lot of times you're just kind of on edge and just on edge. You're just not at a relaxed state, and it just can kind of come in and help you just kind of not be so on edge, just a little more mellowed out. So that's really helpful too. And it's a lot better for you than a lot of, like anti-anxiety medicines and stuff.
Right. Yeah. So interesting. So if people shop on your website, it's evolvemedicinals.com. They can find you there. Yep. How long does it usually take for them to get their product once they order?
Not long at all. So once the order comes in, we receive it and process it, pack it up for shipping and everything. Usually have it out in the mail within the next day or two. And all of our shipping is $5 flat rate. So it doesn't matter how much you order, how little you order, $5. And everything is shipped usually like 2 days, 2 day shipping time. So
are you fulfilling the orders yourself, or do you have a facility that helps you with that? All you.
All me.
You're a busy person.
Yes, I like to pile as much on myself as humanly possible.
So are you still full-time at a pharmacy, or have you moved on from that as well?
No, full-time there, full-time mom in it.
So full-time pharmacist, full-time mom, fulfilling orders whenever you're not doing those two things, and getting your business running. So.
Sleeping a little bit.
And then using your own products so you can sleep.
Yeah. Rest at night a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, it's fun great. Now. So I'm not a idle person. I have to be doing, I'm very much a multitasker. I have to be doing several things at one time.
Okay. So the chaos is good for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
So, Mary, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody again where they could find you and your company, and then.
Yeah. So we are Evolve Medicinals. You can find us at www.evolvemedicinals.com. All of our information's on there. You can read more about our company, our products. We've got our lab results on there if you're interested. We've got some product photos. We have a section for frequently asked questions. So I think that's really important to make sure people don't have any pending questions, basically, that they don't know or want to know before they start their products. I definitely think it's important to always do your own research before you start ingesting something. So I tried to provide the most commonly asked questions already. And if there's any more, please, as I've said, feel free, reach out to me. We have a contact form on the website. It comes straight to me. I'll answer any questions that you have as best as I can. Don't sit there and, not have your question answered or have to Google it or whatever you're going to do. I answer questions all day at work for patients. I'm used to it. You're not going to bother me. So yeah, check it out.
That's great. Well, Mary, I appreciate you being on the show today.
Yeah,
and
I appreciate having me on.
Yeah, no problem. I look forward to seeing your company grow and continue to have success. So
yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks again.
All right, see ya.